Before this video starts, I just wanted to quickly say that my Etsy shop is currently having a sale. I recently hit 20,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. And to celebrate, I'm doing a 20% sale off of everything in my shop for the next 2 weeks. The link to that is in the description, and it couldn't be better timing really, because Christmas is just around the corner. So if you're after some arty presents at a cheaper price, then I recommend you have a look. Okay, I hope you enjoy the video. Hello everybody, I've got a bit of a croaky voice, so please excuse that. It's probably going to be quite croaky for this video. Anyway, welcome to a new video. It's been a while since I've made one. I'm starting my final piece for a project I've been working on for the past 2.5 weeks, so I'm finally starting the final piece, and I thought I would show the entire journey of me making it. But before I get into that, I'm going to explain the project a bit so you know what's going on. To quickly explain it, it's about data visualization, and I know some of you might hear the word data and think, what the heck? But bear with it, it's actually it's a bit more interesting than it sounds. Anyway, so data visualization is just ways of showing a set of data but in an interesting way. This work will all make a bit more sense once I show you my slides, because they'll be put into a bit of context. This is all the random bits of drawing I've done so far for this project. This is all my sketches for my final piece, which I know at the moment won't make any sense because you have no idea what I'm doing. But once I show you my slides, it will hopefully start to make a bit more sense. I'm going to do it in collage and gouache. And my final piece is going to be a little book. I'm not quite sure how many pages there are. I think there's... Oh, I'll be able to tell here. This is my little plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16 pages plus a little pull-out concertina, like one of them. It's going to be a little pull-out bit. I will go through this in a second once I show you my slides, but that's all my sketchbook stuff so far. I will pop a screen recording up right now because it will look nicer. For anybody new to my videos, these are my Google Slides, and this is like an online sketchbook. It's how the teachers see our work. And if you're interested in my last project, which is all the work above here, where I made this final piece, you can hop over to my last video where I showed the entire process of this being made. Anyway, this is the project I'm working on now, and it's all about data visualization. As every project starts, it's a lot of writing. It's not very exciting, so I will quickly zoom through it, but it has to be done, you know, it's just a part of projects. So there's all this research that I did about various different data visualizations, and then we get on to the practical work. This is what we do in lessons. It's very quick and easy stuff. Oh, so this maybe might make you understand data visualization a bit more. So it's like taking information like this and thinking, right, how can I show this in a way that's interesting, that isn't just like a boring, you know, pie chart or something, and then adding a bit more information to that, and how can I visualize that. I'm sorry about my voice, it's very croaky, although it's a lot better than it was the other day. I could barely speak the other day. Collecting data, so I looked at how eyes work and tried to like make graphs out of that. And then I made this, which is about after image, which is, you know, when you look into a bright light and it leaves like a dot in your eye for a while. That's this, and I recorded how long the dot stayed in my eye and how it changed over time. Then I looked into the immune system. I made a little graph about that. I'm not crazy about this, so I think it looks too much like a comic and not enough like data. Anyway, it was an experiment. This is my Spotify playlist put into data form. And then I was like collecting data as well to make into graphs. So this was me collecting how often me and my boyfriend hugged and kissed. I know it's a bit soppy, I apologise. And then I put that into a graph, and then I turned that into another way of visualising it. So I made a little stamp of lips and made this, which is just a different way of showing the information. And then I recorded my day, my activity, where I was, who I was with, how I felt, what time it was, and then that got put into this. And this is a floor plan of my house, so this just tells you which room I was in the most that day. This is my bedroom here. And then I made that into a GIF, so the colour of the dot shows you what I was doing, and obviously where it is tells you where I was in the house. Anyway, what's my final piece actually about? Oh, my voice went bad then. It's about this book that I had during lockdown. You know what a bullet journal is? It was my bullet journal during lockdown. Also just a diary. Oh gosh, my voice cracked. Where I wrote about every day. So this is just absolutely jammed full of information. Also every month I would write down every single day something like nice which happened. So I'm doing the first 10 weeks of that book, and then I put all that information into this spreadsheet. So here we've got my FaceTimes, so every day how many FaceTimes I did, and the colour corresponds to who I was FaceTiming. Then this column is when I left the house. Not a lot. This is how many times I cried. This is my gratitude, like, you know, what I was grateful for every day. And then these are my activities here, so you probably can't really see, but like red is when I did Just Dance, pink is when I did art, this cream colour is when I stretched, so that all that information's here. So that is probably not the most exciting thing to look at because it's just a spreadsheet. And then we're getting on to the stuff that I just showed you in my book. Anyway, that is everything on my slides. You are officially up to date, and now I'll go through my little test book to show you my plan for my final piece. Hopefully this cleared everything up and the project is a little bit more understandable now. Okay, so these are my test booklets. I did 3. This one's not very good though, so I won't show you this. These are the best ones, and I'm going to combine these 2 together for the final piece. So imagine that this is a square and has this front cover, but the pages will all be like the inside of this one. This is going to be a little flap to show you who I was in the house with. Then this is my FaceTimes, how I'm going to show them in a graph. Next page is what I did, so I'm going to do that in collage, and each shape will represent a different activity. This one is the tears, and I'm going to do that on a bit of tracing paper. This is a bit of an awkward page because it's got holes in. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. Hopefully I will figure it out. Then this is the days I spent in the house, and then the holes represents like the days I left the house, and then that also shows you there when I left. Then we have my gratitude, and so I'm going to represent that. And then this is the concertina, which is going to have like the information of the COVID graphs. And then it's just the last page with some shapes. I'm not quite sure what I'll do with the last page, probably not a lot. I've got a lot of pages to do, and I've got 3 days to do it in. Today's Friday. I want this done by Monday because on Monday I want to go into uni and print it out so I can have a physical copy of it. So lots to do and not a lot of time. Hopefully you enjoy watching me make this book. I will get on with it. Hello, it's voiceover me with a now recovered voice, which is free from croak. Anyway, so starting off with the first ever page, I'd given myself a big task with this project. I didn't have to make a book. We could have made a poster or a GIF, and I decided to make a book because I just like putting a lot of effort into things. You know, I thought it was all manageable because a lot of the pages are quite simple, and you know what, it was because I've managed to get it done and it's looking pretty nice. Anyway, so the first page that I decided to tackle was this quite complicated one. This is the most complicated illustration by far. It's about the FaceTime, so each colour that I paint is a different person that I'm FaceTiming. So pink is my boyfriend, and then you'll see later there's yellow, which is my friends, orange is my family, and then blue are when I did all my online dance classes. So yeah, this is showing all my FaceTimes, and the idea behind it was that the lines that I've drawn in pencil there each day, and then the kind of the blobs coming off are supposed to be kind of like, I don't know, abstract sort of speech bubbles, showing that even though we were apart, we were divided. I've like shown by kind of the divide in the middle of the piece, and we could still connect. That's the idea behind showing this information. I really like the way it looked. It was quite fiddly to get everything kind of in the right position. When I was drawing this out, I was like referring to my spreadsheet to make sure I was putting the colour in the right spots. I did a digital version of this first to make it a little easier, and I'm pretty sure I did mess up, like it's not 100% accurate. I got really confused in the middle bit. I know the top section is accurate to the spreadsheet and the bottom section is, but the middle, not so much. I'm pretty sure I just started making it up at that point because I just got really confused as to what colour goes where. That was this piece. I mean, even though it was like a really time-consuming thing to do, it was quite simple because it was just kind of like colouring in the lines, you know, just simple shapes. I tried to add a lot of texture with the gouache, like even though it's kind of solid blocks of colour, within the blocks of colour there's like variation in like lights and darks, which I think looks quite cute. This is the finished piece. This probably took me, I think, around 3 hours to do. Oh, it's not the finished piece, I'm still going. It's pretty much nearly done. And once I got this out of the way, I was feeling a lot better about this project. Alright then, moving on to the next page. This is the one showing my kind of like my daily gratitude thingamabob. Each line represents a different kind of thing I was grateful for that day. I did the, you know, like the wet on wet technique where the paper's wet and then you drop paint onto it and it kind of spreads out. But I don't know, it worked for some of the blobs, but there were ones where it kind of messed up, and for the most of this painting I was on the verge of like just giving up, but I don't know, just for some reason I just kept on going, thinking the more lines I add the better it will get. And you know what, it kind of did, but I knew in my head that this was going to require a lot of editing on Photoshop, and it did. It took many hours of editing, but I ended up getting it somewhere I liked. And then, even though it was already pretty late, for some reason I decided to start a new page. But I knew it would be quite a simple page to do. I cut out a bunch of different circles out of collage bits of paper, took pictures of them and took them into Photoshop so I could like arrange them and play around with size and placement on Photoshop. It's just easier that way than doing it like traditionally. So here's the Photoshop screen recordings. At this point it was very late, I'm not gonna lie. It was probably around like 12 o'clock, maybe half 12. I think I went to bed at 1 o'clock this night. Yeah, I'm not very proud of that, but I had a lot to do and not a lot of time, so I just kind of had to sacrifice a bit of sleep really to get this project done, which is okay because it's not like I'm doing that every night. I only do that very, very rarely when I have a big project to finish. This took so much fiddling about to get things in the right spot. Like, you're seeing a fraction of me fiddling about with these circles, but I managed to get it somewhere I liked. This is to show my activities. Each colour is a different sort of activity. The bigger the circle, the more I did that activity. Can you guess which circle's art? I'll give you a second to guess. Yeah, it's the massive yellow one. That's how much art I did. Hello, it's now a new day. I thought I would do a little check-in at the start of every day to talk about things. So yesterday, what did I accomplish yesterday? Quite a lot. I'm quite proud of what I got done yesterday. So you saw me doing this, which I'm really proud of the way this turned out. I'm going to edit it a little bit in Photoshop to tweak a few things where I messed up, but for the most part, this went well. These lines, I didn't film it, but these lines took me at least an hour to draw. There was a lot of rubbing out to get them kind of perfectly even. Well, no, they're not even even, I was just being very particular about them. Anyway, that's done. Really like it. And then I did this, and in the moment, I wasn't very keen on it. I just was hoping that the more lines I had, the nicer it would get. And I like parts of it. Like, this side, I think, looks a lot better than this side. I just messed up with my my splattering over here, I suppose you'd call it. But I just kept on going because I was like, oh, I can fix it on Photoshop. And that's what I did. I went and spent ages on Photoshop editing it. I ended up just taking out these splatters because I thought they were a bit confusing and I was overcomplicating something that didn't need to be complicated. Although this was a struggle, I think I ended up with something quite nice in the end. And then I went through my big box of collage. I went through all my activities and I counted how many times I did things. The bigger the number, the bigger the circle, basically. And I cut out all these circles of loads of different colours, loads of different textures, and then I figured I would just arrange them all in Photoshop, and then that way I can kind of just pick and choose what size I want things to be. And this is, oh, not that, this is what I ended up with. which I really like, although this was like the 10th attempt at arranging things. My tasks for today, this is how I kind of keep organised if anyone's wondering. This is my to-do list for this week, and then here's me planning out what I was going to do on every day. So Friday's done and dusted. I did my FaceTimes, my gratitudes, my activities. Anyway, today I've given myself the task of the front cover, which should be pretty simple. The leaving the house page, which I've already kind of started playing around with. The leaving the house page is super simple, it's just dots. This page right here, you know, is the one with just the dots and the holes in the page. So that's a super simple one to do. I'm going to do all the dots out of collage. And that's my job for today. And hopefully I managed to get through these, because this doesn't seem like a lot. So I might creep into Sunday as well and start doing a few of these as well. Whilst I'm gluing down my collage little circles, I would like to let you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know this, but I haven't yet said it on YouTube, but if you know the show Portrait Artist, I was on it last week, you know, Portrait Artist of the Year, and it's been a secret that I have had to keep for like an entire year, probably a bit longer than a year, to be honest, because I was supposed to be on it last series, but because of COVID I couldn't be on it, so I was on this series. I would like to do a whole video kind of dedicated to talking about my experience on Portrait Artist, because it's, you know, it's a really cool experience to have. You know, I was on TV, I was in, you know, pretty big painting competition, and it was a really exciting day. So I would like to do like maybe like a draw with me where I talk about it. If you want to see the painting that I did, it's on my Instagram. Oh, it's currently archived because it doesn't really fit my theme, but I'll take it out of the archive for like a week or two, so you can have a look at like the painting I did on Portrait Artist. But yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know. If you remember earlier this year, if you remember in my videos, I was painting a lot of portraits, and I just kept saying, oh, it's because I'm practicing, and I would never actually say why I was practicing because I wasn't allowed to. That's the reason. Now I can finally say why I was practicing portraits. So yeah, I would like to make a video about it in the future, not quite sure when, because I don't really have a lot of free time to make my own kind of personal art that I can film for like a video, but get excited for that. Hopefully it's exciting for you to hear. If you know what the program is, probably from either from a different country, you might not know what it is, but it's a pretty big program here. So yeah, anyway, that's enough of that. What have I been doing? Saturday I was just doing lots of little odd jobs. I worked on the front cover, did a cute little painting of a little person kind of slouched over in a house to kind of show them locked down. I did these green stars shapes because they were supposed to kind of represent like the COVID germs. I think they were kind of a nice addition. I just did lots of odd jobs on this day, which I didn't really film. Hello, good morning. It's now Sunday. The sun is shining. I did a lot yesterday. I did my front cover. You saw me painting this. Well, other than that, I didn't do much like physical painting. I was mainly just doing lots and lots and lots of editing on Photoshop. You can see here, this is how many things I have open, which is too many. You know, when it gets beyond this and you have to start using this, like you've got too many Photoshop files open. Anyway, so I just did loads of editing yesterday, and I made kind of like the keys. Oh, I did this, which looks a bit odd right now because of these black dots, but this is just to let me know for when I print it off where I'm going to be cutting the holes, because I'm going to use an actual scalpel to cut holes out of this page. And then the front cover, and then this is something which I don't want to explain. Then I made the key for this page. So along here I will add writing in for what each colour represents. Oh, this is the key for this page. Oh, I went in and I added all the dots to these lines, and the dots represent certain things, and then I made the key for the page, which again needs writing, and I'm going to have to add a lot of writing in to explain everything. This is what probably took me the longest yesterday. I edited this probably took me 2 hours to edit. I took it from this to this, which you're probably looking at it thinking, what, that looks exactly the same, how did that take 2 hours? But honestly, that a lot of changes were made. I went through, and I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of rubbed out quite a lot of areas. I'll show you this, for example, here compared to here. Like I rubbed out quite a lot of areas, and like the blobs at the end, the yellow ones, I made them a lot thinner. I have done pretty much nearly everything now. Well, I need to add the writing everywhere, which is going to be a big job. Oh, I need to do this page, but I'm still not quite sure how to do this tracing paper thing, so I just keep putting it off. Yeah, all I have left to do now is this concertina pull out bit and this tiny little painting here, which will be super simple to do, and add the writing everywhere. Yeah, I don't really get a lot of breaks, so I really wanted Monday to kind of have a bit of a day off. Went into town centre, did a bit of shopping. It was a really nice day, actually. Yeah, it meant I had to stay up quite late the night before to get everything done so I could have that day off. Here I am doing the last painting. It's a very simple painting, quite similar to, I don't know if I've shown you the front cover, not the front cover, like the first page. I can't remember if I've shown you it, but it's basically like the exact same thing as the front page, but a different formation of blobs. It's supposed to represent, the pink blob is me, the yellow blob is my boyfriend, and it's going to be accompanied by a nice little piece of writing just saying how long it was until we could finally see each other again. But there you go, that's all the art that I filmed over those 3 days. I did do quite a lot more, but I obviously didn't film everything. And now it's time to finally put this book together. I'm going to bind it so I can have a physical copy of it. So here I am finally making the physical book, putting it together. This took me a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm very new to book binding, I suppose you could call it, and it just, yeah, I'm very slow at it. Very fiddly, lots of little jobs. Plus I had to cut out every single page because it was printed on paper way too big. So a lot of time was spent cutting, and I had to do like cutting out with a scalpel on certain areas, and yeah, just lots of fiddly bits to try and figure out how like the concertina bit worked, because I had an attempt which kind of failed. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's really cute, and I wanted it to be quite small. It's quite a nice size. It's imagine like an A6 piece of paper, had its top chopped off so it was a square. That's the size of the book. Yeah, just sewed it all together with a bit of string, and here's a final flip through of the book. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the process of this book coming to life. Hopefully it was quite entertaining to watch. I know my posts aren't very regular at the moment just because uni's been so hectic and full on. I haven't really had much time in between to make more videos, so you'll just have to be patient. For the meantime, videos are coming. They just might take a little bit longer than usual because uni is a lot right now. And just a reminder that my shop is currently having a 20% off sale for the next 2 weeks. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you soon.